Alright everyone, today we are going to be making one of these lovely little loofahs. They're very simple and easy to make, although it is kind of time consuming. So yes, there will be some speed ups and clip outs in this video. So once we get the first couple layers, you'll get the gist of how it goes. It's only just a few layers, so yes, there will be some cutouts. Just a forewarning on that one. Now to create this pattern, what we're going to need is a pair of scissors in order to cut our yarn. We'll need a darning needle in order to weave in all of our ends. I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook for this. And we're going to need some yarn. I am using, it is the Lion brand Comfy Cotton Blend yarn. I'm using a first color that I am using. It is Whipped Cream. And then the second color for the main body of this one, it's going to be called Mocha. This is a number 3 weight, lightweight yarn. And I picked this one because although most with like bathroom supplies, they go with a just a strict cotton for it, but I find these ones are much more softer, especially use on your skin, so that's why I went with this specific type of yarn. To begin this, what we're going to want to do is start and create our slip knot with our first color yarn. This will be the creation of the handle for it, so if you want to use a different color, be sure to adjust your colors and use it for that. And from here, what we're going to want to do is chain 5. Right, and then we want to slip stitch into our first chain 1 of the round in order to join and create a little circle. Now from here, our next step, we want to chain 50. Once you have your chain 50, what we're going to do is go back to our first little circle we created in this round. And we want to simply slip stitch into there on the opposite side from where we started our chains. Just go into the circle. Now we've joined it on that side. Now what we want to do is, if we look at our chain, we got the top loops, back loops, bottom loops, and then we have this back bump. So what we're wanting to do is simply come down and we're just going to slip stitch once into each one of these back bumps. And we want to do this all the way back to the other side of the circle. So we're making 50 slip stitches. And this just makes it so it's a nice, even, pretty looking little strap for it. All right, now that we've done all of our slip stitches, now that we're here at the butt base, what we want to do is single crochet into this ring between each side. We want to put 8 single crochets into this space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then, so there's the 8 on that side. Now we want to skip over right here and we want to do 8 more single crochets down this side, or this other side of our up strap side. Alright, now we are all done with the whipped cream color yarn, or our base color. So we can go right ahead and tie off. And because these are so close, I'm just going to put a little square knot to try and help hold that all together. So essentially what we've just made is a little handle. Well, first we started with a little chain 5 ring, a handle, and then another ring with total of 18 single crochet, or 16, I'm very sorry, single crochet stitches on either side of the straps. Now what we're wanting to do is take our body color for our loofah. Now this one I'm just using the, Mochi Cafe Mocha. This one I actually used, it was a different color called Lovey Dovey. So have some fun with the different colors that you pick out. You don't have to go with exactly what I have, but have some fun with it. So we're gonna start and create a slip knot. And then from here, what we're going to do is into the top of our first single crochet of that ring, we are going to attach our primary color yarn of our loofah right into there. All right. And then from here, what we want to do is simply chain 3. Now for this project, this chain 3 does in fact count as a double crochet stitch. And now what we want to do is double crochet 3 more times into that same stitch that we attached to. So yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through your first 2 loops on your hook. So now we got 2 loops left, yarn over, and go through your last 2. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now into our next single crochet stitch, we want to do 4 double crochets into that stitch. And you just want to repeat that going all the way around, 4 double crochet stitches into each one of the single crochet stitches from the previous row. All right, now that we have completed that first row and did 4 double crochets into each stitch around, what we're going to do is simply I can't talk today, slip stitch into our third chain of our first chain 3 of our round in order to join. And there we are, we have our first row. And yes, it is gonna get all wavy, crinkly. This is normal. So for our next row, we're going to once again chain 3. And then into that same stitch we came out of, we want to do 3 more double crochets into that stitch. Because our first chain 3 counted as 1 double crochet stitch. Oh, and I'm sorry, the previous row, all the stitches in there, we would have been a total of 64 double crochet stitches, and that's including that first chain 3 counted as a double crochet stitch. And now for our next stitch in this row, we want to put 4 double crochets into that stitch. And we just want to repeat that, going all the way around, 4 double crochets into each stitch all the way around. This row, you'll end up making a total of 256 double crochet stitches. And I'll meet you back as soon as I'm about ready to finish up this row. Alright, and now we've done our last 4 into that last stitch. What we want to do is slip stitch, just like we did on our last row, into the third chain of our first chain 3 of our round in order to join. And there we are, we have completed the second round. Now as you can kind of look, it's essentially just around one circle. It kind of reminds you of like the little velvet crochet scrunchies that I did, but a few more stitches put into it. Alright, now from here we're going to go into our third round. This will be our final round. So we chain 3. So this first chain 3 counts as a double crochet stitch. And we want to double crochet 3 more times into that first stitch that we came out of. And then into our next stitch, we want to put 4 double crochets into that one. And then just going all the way around, we want to put 4 double crochets into each stitch all the way around. So this round is going to end up having 1,024 double crochet stitches made. I don't think anyone's actually going to count all those stitches. I did the math based off of it because we started with 16. And then we did 4 double crochets into each one, into the next row, and then the next row. So we just did the math that way because I'm not counting 1,000 stitches. And I will come back as soon as we have completed all the way through there. Yes, it does take a little bit of time. It's just, I literally sat down, I was just not doing anything for this one, you know, watching TV through a commercial or something, just kind of keep working on it. As you get fuller and fuller to the very end of this round, it's gonna get a little bit tight, so you might want to be pulling your work apart in order to get into things. Like, as you can see from this one, if I pull it apart, yep, there's the center of it. But Yes, and I will be back as soon as we get through all of those stitches, and I'll show you up the ending for it. Alright, now that we've just done our last stitch there, like previous rows, we want to slip stitch into the third chain of our first chain 3 of the round in order to join. Then we'll go ahead and tie off. My scissors will actually cut my string here. And go ahead and weave in this last little end here. I just like to back stitch in order to weave in these ends. These ones I actually want to weave in, make sure I get them really good and tied off because, well, I don't want them falling apart on me in the shower, considering we've spent so much time making these. All right. And then the ends of our little whites that we already tied, or sorry, cream. And there we are. We have our crochet loofahs. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy having lots of fun making more of these for yourself. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a little thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then that little bell thing right also by there. That'll give you a notification every time I post a new pattern here on my channel. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.